Hello, I am Wesley Toma, and this is my LP of the original Fire Emblem. Well, not the original Fire Emblem. This was the first Fire Emblem released in America, and as such, the game developers felt to just call it Fire Emblem. Also, if you see those red things that say battery saved, it's because I'm recording this on a ROM, and I don't know any way around that. Anyways, I should be talking about what's on the show on the screen right now. Look, dragon. How do men... Yeah, they're gonna be swearing. I really don't care. A millennium have passed since those dark days have ended. Don't worry, this isn't gonna be a voice-acted LP. My voice is horrible enough, I'm gonna talk about way too much anyway. And sorry, I spoiled the title before it came on. Fire Emblem. Press start. Copyright 2003 Nintendo. I'm just gonna show this fast roll call off. Ignore the stuff here, I'm gonna explain it all in more depth later. I should tell Lord. Yeah, that's kind of true. Fighters. They're okay-ish. Basically have to use them. And those are all the classes they're showing so far. But spoilers, there are more classes than that. And you don't want to see this again, I don't press start. The only option you have is to create a new game, so I will. No, I'm not. I'm an 18-year-old guy. I'm an 18-year-old guy sitting on a chair in my computer. Name, birth month, gender. You mean the arrow keys and the Z button? Sure. Your name doesn't do anything except for change what names we refer to you as, so just put in a funny name, put in your actual name, or do something like name yourself Fuck. Birth month. This does affect something. Notice how that little icon by your name changes depending on what month you pick? While this has a minor, very minor effect on the game. But it won't affect anything for a while. Gender. This only affects dialogue. Nothing mechanically changes depending on what gender you pick. And if you were more curious about information, I have no idea why they want you to explain that, but I love how they don't force you to pick your name, that you are allowed to roleplay as you want. But since I am a boring and lame person, I'm going with myself. Yeah. What the fuck were they doing before? you in the, I think I saw you in the class roll call. Yeah, it's Leslie. Why the fuck was that? Not particularly. Thanks for that, I guess. Striped black shirt and sweat shorts. Sounds like travel attire to me. I literally have no idea. How do you understand it? There could just be shirtless men wandering around. Yeah, you can. With some RNG manipulation. I can't imagine that being an odd profession. I mean, I imagine militaries need strategists. Where? Your face is blocking the enemy. Also, that doesn't really look like me. Imagine if it was like a brunette, I mean like a red-haired or a blonde person, that would really be different. Or third ball. Racist. I'm kind of environmentally friendly, but the exercise room next door still has lights turned on, too lazy to go turn them off. AKA cutscenes. So I have the... So basically... You know what? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna put the cursor on Lynn and press the R button. This is Lynn. She is a young girl from Lorca tribe. Stout-hearted and kind. Basically, she is generic. Lynn? Ow. All we have seen of her is being in, like, the plains. I'm sorry, at that time of the news opinion, but she doesn't have to be anything more noble. Also, wasn't the title Lord referring to a male? Wouldn't her proper title be Lady? Now I'm going to front dealing with information by explaining to you all the stats. Strength. Determines how much damage you do with physical attacks. Skill. Increases your accuracy and your critical hit rate. Speed. Determines whether or not you'll double someone. I'll explain that very shortly. And your evasion. Luck. They're very vague about it, but as far as I know, it only really affects two things. One, it reduces your chances of being critical into higher layer luck. And 2, your evasion is higher. Defense. Pretty self-explanatory. Lowers your... less physical damage you receive. Resistant to magical damage. I'll explain magic later. Movement. How many times you can move in a turn? Constitution. That's not all it affects. I'll go into... but Constitution, basically it affects rescues, but that will be a mechanic I explain later. And Aid is only embraced by rescue. This is just if you rescued someone. That's a really vague way to put it, but I'll explain affinities in more detail much later. Conditions, basically that means you have no status effect. Don't worry about status effects now, or for most of the game for that matter. The weapon Link using is a sword. It's a standard weapon type. Of the, they're fast, they're lightweight, accurate, but not that powerful, basically. And she has 2 vulneraries. The game will show off what they do later. Also known as weapon rings. Notice how she can't use any weapon rings but any weapons but swords. And it's a D. That means that the weapon she has to use has to be a D rank or lower. Weapons only go as low as E, which is what the Iron Sword is. Now, if you compare this to this guy, the generic enemy bandit, he has a D in axes, and he can use axes. Axes are less accurate than swords, heavier than swords, but they are more powerful. Now I can't really use information for the game mechanics I explained, or just for the people who actually know about Fire Emblem. Let's go. Basically, blue area is the spaces you can move, and red areas are the places you can't reach, but you can attack a target who's on those spaces. You know what? I don't want Lynn to go fight. I want her to go there. Wait a minute, I'm a tactician. Why the crap should I listen to you? Be in this forest. Choice, though. Just attack. So, pick the weapon you want, and you can see the stats here. How much damage you'll do. And what does that times 2 mean? The battle will clearly show what it means. In case you're wondering, might how much damage you'll do. HP is basically how much HP. You should be familiar with that concept. And hit is your accuracy. Their accuracy is actually a little more hidden than that. It's something I'll explain a little bit later. And crit is your critical hit chance. Basically, this means Lynn has a 3% chance of doing 3 times as much as normal damage. Ignore those red and green arrows, you know, I will explain what those mean later. Why did it give you a vocab lesson? That wasn't particularly relevant to anything in the game. I don't think the term ever is used in the game. Basically, if per turn, if instead you want to attack, you want to use instead of attacking, you can use a vulnerary to heal. Heal, well, it seems like vulneraries here to full, they actually heal up to 10 HP. It just happened that banded to exactly 10 damage. Oh, by the way, I should probably talk about Lynn herself. Lynn is a lore character, meaning that if she died in this game, if she runs out of HP, it's game over. As a progression, despite what her low base stat might suggest, she actually gets pretty decent strength. She has good speed and skill. Her defenses are a little lacking, but overall she's a pretty decent unit, and you're kind of forced to use her anyways. Like, not strictly forced to use her, but you probably want to use her regardless of anything, so. Normally, I would discourage going up to a boss and directly attacking them. I'd more encourage waiting in front of a boss, but tutorials force me to do this. Some might be blind, only because it's the first line you get in the game, so. Wow, Lynn, you're getting unlucky getting hit by these guys. Actually, this situation is exactly why, because if Bada hits next turn, and 2 more triggers to go with the crit. Oh, and every time you fight, you get experience, and there is a chance to base off the character with hidden things called growth rates. And HP, strength, speed, skill, luck, defense, and resistance are the only things that grow up in growth. Constitution, the fighting in low up screen, does not grow up in levels. And neither does movement aid. And I should point out that levels are luck-based, so there is some unvariability. For example, it is entirely possible for you to get a Lynn who is a massive physical tank and magical tank, but the odds that are ridiculously unlikely. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that first level is scripted. On normal mode, anyways. In case you want to know normal mode, after you beat Lynn's mode, there are multiple character modes, by the way. You unlock Lynn's hard mode. Actually, not after you beat Lynn's mode, you have to beat the entire game, which is basically the same without the tutorial. So, in that, you can have non-scripted mode. Not really. I was just locked into doing everything the game forced me to do. I had no free will. Unless I used glitches, but that's no fun. Any 5-year-old could do what I did there. And sure, I have nothing better to do, and not really much use of the tactician without anyone to order around. I figure you are living with your parents, especially considering your age has been changed is 18. Oh, the right, just want an excuse to shoehorn a tragic backstory out of sheer nowhere. Last. They point out this weird idea of sexism in this world, but it is never actually a real issue in the game that actually affects anyone other than this one throwaway line. And you see plenty of females in military and offensive roles. fact, the game's cast is, like, close to being half female. And wow, you have very sporadic emotions. I'm trying to think if she ever does. I'm not really given an option here, but I wedded it.